All right, ready to dive into a career that's all about making a difference. Today we're tackling fundraising managers,
Yeah?
and trust me, this isn't about bake sales and car washes.
Right.
We're talking about the strategic masterminds behind nonprofit success.
Hmm.
We've got RoleCatcher's career guides to give us the inside scoop, but we're going beyond the basics.
Yeah.
You want to know how to not just land the job, but truly thrive in it, right?
Absolutely.
And what's fascinating is how much fundraising has evolved.
Yeah.
It's not just about asking for money anymore. It's about crafting compelling narratives,
Mhm.
connecting with donors on a personal level,
Yeah.
and proving your organization's impact.
It's like the dating game for nonprofits,
You
right?
need to woo those donors, show them
Yeah.
you're the real deal and that their investment, because it is an investment.
Will make a difference.
Exactly.
And that's where the role of a fundraising manager gets really interesting.
Okay.
They're not just managing money.
They're managing relationships, expectations, and the organization's reputation in the community.
Okay, so big picture stuff.
RoleCatcher dives into the day-to-day,
Yeah.
and it's a lot more varied than I expected.
Yeah.
We're talking corporate partnerships, grant writing, events, digital campaigns.
It's like a fundraising buffet.
It is.
And that's one of the things I love about this field.
Mm-hmm.
You could be crafting a compelling pitch deck for a potential corporate sponsor one day,
Okay.
and then analyzing donor data to fine-tune your online fundraising strategy the next.
Data analysis.
So you need to be a numbers whiz, too.
It definitely helps.
But it's not just about crunching numbers.
It's about using data to tell a story that resonates with donors and inspires them to give.
Okay.
For example, let's say you're working for an organization that fights childhood hunger.
Mm-hmm.
By analyzing donor data,
You might discover that a significant portion of your donors are motivated by personal stories of impact.
yeah,
So you leverage that insight to create a campaign that highlights the real-life stories of children whose lives have been changed by the organization's work.
so it's like detective work.
You're piecing together clues from donor demographics
Mm-hmm.
to their online behavior.
To figure out what makes them tick.
Exactly.
And that's where those analytical skills come in handy.
Okay.
You're using data to understand donor motivations, predict future giving patterns, and measure the effectiveness of your fundraising campaigns.
So you're not just raising funds, you're proving that those funds are being used effectively.
That's a powerful message,
Right.
especially in today's world where donors are more discerning than ever.
Absolutely.
And that's another key aspect of this role, transparency and accountability. Donors want to know that their contributions are making a real difference.
And it's the fundraising manager's job to demonstrate that impact.
Makes sense.
Now, RoleCatcher emphasizes that this is a high-pressure field.
Right.
Long hours, ambitious fundraising targets. It's not for the faint of heart, right?
They even mention the potential for emotional strain.
Right.
It's not uncommon for fundraising managers to work long hours.
Yeah.
Especially during crunch time.
Like leading up to a big fundraising event or the end of the fiscal year. And the pressure to meet those targets can be intense.
Especially when you're personally invested in the cause.
Exactly.
Many people enter this field because they're passionate about a particular cause,
Right.
which is fantastic.
Yeah.
But it also means that the work can feel incredibly personal.
Yeah.
It's not just about hitting a number, it's about making a difference in the lives of real people.
So how do you avoid burnout?
How do successful fundraising managers navigate those challenges?
Resilience is key.
There will be setbacks, rejections.
And times when you feel like you're hitting a brick wall.
Yeah.
But the most successful people in this field are able to bounce back from those challenges
Learn from their mistakes.
and never lose sight of the bigger picture.
It's about having that unwavering belief in the mission.
Even when things get tough. And it's about building a support system,
Yeah.
both within your organization and outside of work.
People who understand the unique demands of this field and can offer encouragement and perspective.
And maybe a shoulder to cry on after a particularly brutal rejection.
Me.
But on a more serious note, it's about having those outlets, whether it's exercise, meditation, or simply spending time with loved ones
Yeah.
that help you de-stress and recharge.
Self-care is crucial in any field.
But it sounds especially important in a role that's so closely tied to your emotions.
Speaking of emotions, let's talk about the people skills involved in all of this. It's not just about the numbers, is it?
Right.
RoleCatcher talks about emotional intelligence being crucial for fundraising managers.
What does that look like in action?
It's about understanding people's motivations, building trust, and communicating in a way that resonates with their values.
Think about it. You're asking people to part with their hard-earned money.
Right.
That's a big ask.
You need to connect with them on an emotional level, show them that you understand their concerns, and inspire them to believe in your cause.
So it's about more than just delivering a polished presentation.
Or writing a compelling grant proposal.
Right.
It's about building authentic relationships with donors.
Precisely.
And that requires empathy, active listening skills, and the ability to tailor your message to different audiences.
Okay.
A major gift donor might be moved by a personal story of impact.
While a foundation might be more interested in seeing data that demonstrates your organization's effectiveness,
You need to be a bit of a chameleon.
adapting your approach to different personalities and communication styles.
Exactly.
And that's where those emotional intelligence skills come in.
It's about reading the room, understanding what motivates people, and communicating in a way that resonates with them.
Speaking of different approaches.
RoleCatcher gave a breakdown of the typical career path in fundraising.
Yeah.
What are some of the key takeaways there?
They highlight a natural progression from entry-level roles like fundraising assistant or coordinator to the coveted fundraising manager position.
And what's interesting is how the required skill set evolves alongside that progression.
So it's not like you just wake up one day and magically become a fundraising manager.
It's a climb.
It is.
And along the way, you're gaining valuable experience in different aspects of fundraising, whether it's event planning, grant writing, donor relations, or digital fundraising.
Each step provides you with new skills and insights that prepare you for the next level.
It's like leveling up in a video game.
You're acquiring new skills, knowledge, and connections as you go.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher also talked about those certifications, like the CFRE.
Are those really essential for career growth?
They're not always mandatory.
But they can be incredibly valuable, especially as you move into more senior roles.
Okay.
Think of it this way. In a sea of resumes, a certification like the CFRE can make yours stand out.
Right.
It demonstrates a commitment to professional development and a deep understanding of fundraising principles.
It's a way to signal to potential employers that you're serious about this field.
And you've invested the time and effort to master your craft.
Yeah.
Like earning a black belt in fundraising.
Laugh.
I love that analogy.
It's about demonstrating mastery and credibility.
RoleCatcher also touched on this interesting point about how employers can use their platform to find you.
How does that work? And is it really as amazing as it sounds?
It's a bit like online dating.
But for your career,
Okay.
you create a profile that showcases your skills and experience. And then employers can search for candidates who match their needs.
They're essentially putting themselves out there saying, hey, we're looking for talented people like you.
Okay, so you're not just sending resumes into a black hole and hoping for the best.
You're making yourself visible to a pool of potential employers who are actively seeking candidates with your skill set.
Exactly.
But here's the catch. Simply being in the system isn't enough. Your profile needs to be compelling. Your experience needs to be relevant.
And you still need to nail that interview.
So it's not a magic bullet, but it can be a powerful tool for connecting with the right opportunities.
Right.
Speaking of opportunities, what advice would you give to someone who's just starting their career in fundraising?
Where do you even begin?
RoleCatcher stresses the importance of building a solid foundation,
Okay.
and I couldn't agree more.
Volunteering for a cause you care about is a fantastic way to gain experience, build your network, and see firsthand how fundraising works.
So don't underestimate the power of rolling up your sleeves and doing the groundwork.
Even if it's just stuffing envelopes or making phone calls, those experiences can be incredibly valuable.
Absolutely.
And don't be afraid to network. Attend industry events, connect with people on LinkedIn, reach out to people who work at organizations you admire.
You never know where those conversations might lead.
It's like that saying, it's all about who you know.
Right.
But in this case, it's also about who knows what you can do right.
Exactly.
Networking is about building genuine connections and showcasing your passion for the nonprofit world.
Okay.
Now, remember how RoleCatcher's AI analyzes job descriptions to unearth those hidden skills?
Yes.
Because it's not enough to just tick the boxes on the job description anymore.
Right.
What are those extra layers that make someone stand out in a sea of qualified candidates?
It's about demonstrating those in-demand skills that might not be explicitly listed, but are highly sought after. Think about the evolving landscape of fundraising.
It's not just about traditional methods anymore. It's about embracing the digital world.
Right.
Employers are looking for candidates who are tech-savvy, data-driven, and comfortable navigating the world of online fundraising and social media engagement,
So someone who can launch a viral fundraising challenge on TikTok.
while also charming a room full of potential donors at a gala.
Right.
A regular fundraising renaissance person.
Ah,
Exactly. It's about being adaptable, innovative, and always willing to learn new approaches.
okay.
Imagine you can demonstrate that you understand how to craft a killer email campaign or analyze data to identify new donor demographics.
You're already miles ahead of the game.
That's like you're not just managing donations, you're managing a whole brand.
That's a great way to put it.
Nonprofits, like any organization, need to cultivate a strong online presence.
Right.
Engage with their audience and tell compelling stories that resonate with potential donors.
This has been incredibly eye-opening.
So much more to it than I ever realized.
Before we wrap up,
Yeah.
any final words of wisdom for our listeners who are ready to embark on this rewarding, albeit challenging, career path?
Fundraising is a career where you can truly make a difference in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's about connecting with people.
Inspiring them to believe in a cause
Yeah.
and witnessing the tangible impact of their generosity.
It's not just about the money.
It's about the mission.
Exactly.
So if you're passionate about making a difference and you're willing to put in the hard work, don't be afraid to dive into this incredible field.
Okay.
And remember, resources like RoleCatcher are there to help you navigate the journey and find your place in the world of fundraising. Love it. Passion, hard work, and maybe a little help from some smart technology.
Sounds like a recipe for a fulfilling career.
Right.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration of the professional world.